All right, take a look at this. This is running back efficiency chart. X-axis is success rate, Y-axis EPA per rush. So Y-axis the expected play per run size. Now the bubble size is also the number of runs. So when you look at that, Jerome Ford has not had a lot of success in his EPA per rush. Has not been great either. When you look at it, Dameon Pierce and Rachaad White are the only ones who have been less efficient than Jerome Ford running the football. So again, that's kind of one of the reasons they haven't been running the ball into stacked boxes. Let's welcome in Jeff Lloyd from the Locked On Browns podcast. Jeff, we showed some of the struggles that Jerome Ford has had running the football. What have you thought of the run game? Let's start there.
Well, and part of it, you have to keep in mind that each week the Browns are essentially trying to put together a different game plan for a different quarterback. And that is really, really difficult to do. And when teams are playing as many quarterbacks as the Cleveland Browns do, we're talking about teams that are probably not going to be successful. So everything's going to be different. You have guys, obviously Deshaun Watson preferred everything to be ran out of shotgun. DTR, similar to that as well. PJ Walker, maybe. Joe Flacco, that's not really going to be his cup of tea, maybe so much. So I think a lot of it is, just the fluctuation of how the Browns have to go about business each week on the offensive side of the ball. Jerome Ford, and there's times where, I know I've talked about this with you, it's almost kind of like he's got the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. Just get the yards. Oh, be patient. They're going to set it up. And to be fair, there's been times where the interior offensive line in the polling game has not worked as effectively as has in years in the past. So you have, being coached and preached patience. Let them get to their spots. Everything should open up. Well, that's not always happened the way it has in years in the past. So then there's part of you that says, well, look, there's 3 yards there. Let me just get the 3 yards. As opposed to if I'm patient, maybe there's 7, maybe there's 8. And I think it's caused a lot of indecision for a player like Jerome Ford. It's still wacky, to even think about that. You go to that second Ravens game in Jerome Ford, and they just absolutely just stuffed it to the Ravens. There was nothing the Ravens could do with the Browns run game that day. They needed to return, ideally Sunday with the weather. Look, it's December. There's 5 weeks to go. The weather's not really going to get any better. It's only probably going to get continually worse as the season goes on here. But it's huge for them. But there's a lot of factors here. And the other thing is once you're breaking in all these other quarterbacks, you got to throw the ball a little bit. You can't have a tell that says we're not just going to throw the ball because I've got this quarterback out there and he's not ready because he's a rookie, or I got this quarterback out there because he's only been with the team for 8 practices. So there's a lot you got to do here, and you got to keep other teams honest. I think the Browns are doing the absolute best they can here, but and we'll probably see how this works with the 5 weeks going. I think we all know the way it's going to turn at the quarterback position. But I think the fact that the Browns maybe are just going to be able to trot out one quarterback here for the rest of the regular season, the final 5 weeks here, should hopefully start to get some things to work a little bit more in sync.
And I'm assuming you would expect that to be Joe Flacco.
There's no reason. Look, I mean, if this team was 5-7, you'd say, hey, let's take a look at this rookie quarterback. But the other thing is, and we talked about this, the first start they put Dorian Thompson-Robinson in the first time against the Ravens. Nobody wants to be putting rookies and young players in bad situations. And unfortunately, they had no choice that day. They had to put DTR in a bad situation. It's hard to take this guy who, obviously went, got his first victory on his belt. The game was looking pretty good when he left it in Denver. Certainly didn't play last week, but now he's been out of practice for a couple of weeks. And here you go. Here's one of the top teams in the AFC. We don't know exactly what Jacksonville's bringing as far as players for this game, of course. But now, hey, I need you to win this game at home, and because the playoffs are riding on it. It's not the ideal situation to put a rookie into. This is probably the reason that Joe Flacco had so much appeal for this team. Look, he's been there. He's done it. And obviously, as good as he looked in his first start against the Rams and seeing some vertical game from this offense, and, Dave, I talk about this a lot. It's one thing we've not seen a lot of from the Coach Stefanski offense is the ability to get the ball consistently vertically down the field. Well, Joe Flacco did that in one start. So I don't see there's any way whatsoever. And, everybody who got all up in arms, look, the Browns have a bunch of injured guys. It's roster minutia right now. And just as Jacksonville says we think Trevor Lawrence can play, we don't know if he's going to be able to play. Kevin Stefanski is going to play the one game he's got right now, too. Why do I have to tell you who my quarterback is? It ain't Friday yet.
Yeah, the other thing is, and I've said this, and I've gotten a little bit of pushback, I would use a package with DTR. If you get into 5 and 6.
They did it in Seattle. If you remember, they did it in Seattle. He got a little taste back in action in Seattle.
And you know what? It's a drastic enough difference from Joe Flacco that if you start getting the 3 and outs that you had, just give the defense a little something to throw them off balance. And DTR is still developing and seeing game action at that point. It's the best of both worlds.
Well, when he came out of that game against Denver, I mean, the drive he got hurt on, the drive before that was his best drive as a pro. So even if you put him out there and you don't even go with any hesitation whatsoever and you say, look, we're just going to call whatever we call if Joe was in there, just to put the threat in there of his legs. Or there could be an opportunity where, hey, this is 3rd and 3. They tend to blitz in situations like this. I've got a guy who's almost 39 years old. He's 6'6" and 250. He ain't as nimble as he used to be. At least if I put DTR out there, he's got an opportunity. If he can't make a play with his arm, he maybe can make a play with his legs.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And when I said that, I've gotten some pushback emails and stuff. But I'm not saying a 2-quarterback system. I'm saying use everybody you have on the 53-man roster to threaten the defense. And there are some things Dorian Thompson-Robinson brings that Joe Flacco doesn't. That's all. And I think Kevin Stefanski's probably thinking along those lines as well.